The 21st century was supposed to be an era of unprecedented global integration, peace, and technological triumph. Instead, we are living through the most volatile geopolitical landscape since the end of the Second World War. International treaties are collapsing, proxy conflicts are escalating, and the threat of a direct confrontation between nuclear-armed superpowers is higher than it has been in decades. World War III is no longer a dystopian thought experiment. It is a mathematically calculated risk waiting for a single catalyst. Across the globe, there are a handful of volatile flashpoints where empire-level interests collide and immense military power is heavily concentrated. In this video, we will dissect the top 3 flashpoints most likely to trigger a global conflict, analyze the military realities on the ground, and explore exactly how a local spark in these regions could plunge the entire planet into chaos. The first, and arguably most immediate threat, lies in the waters of the Taiwan Strait. This narrow body of water is the primary fault line between Washington and Beijing. The People's Republic of China views Taiwan as a breakaway province and an inseparable part of its sovereign territory. Beijing has explicitly stated that reunification is inevitable, by peaceful means if possible, but through absolute military force if necessary. However, this is not just a dispute over a piece of land. Taiwan is the literal beating heart of the global economy. A single Taiwanese company, TSMC, manufactures over 90% of the world's most advanced semiconductors and microchips. These chips power everything from your smartphone and medical equipment to advanced fighter jets and artificial intelligence systems. If Beijing successfully launches an amphibious invasion and seizes control of Taiwan, it gains an absolute chokehold on global technology. For the United States, allowing this to happen is a strategic and economic impossibility. Under the Taiwan Relations Act, the United States is legally obligated to provide Taiwan with the means to defend itself, and Washington has increasingly signaled that it would intervene militarily in the event of an invasion. If China moves on Taipei, the U.S. Navy will deploy its carrier strike groups. This triggers a direct, kinetic war between 2 nuclear superpowers. A conflict here would instantly drag in U.S. allies like Japan, South Korea, and Australia, transforming the Pacific into a massive multinational theater of war that would instantly freeze global trade. Moving westward, the second flashpoint is a region that has functioned as a geopolitical powder keg for nearly a century: the Middle East. Today, the core threat of a global escalation centers on the bitter shadow war between Israel and the Islamic Republic of Iran. This is far more than a localized regional rivalry. Iran's rapidly advancing nuclear enrichment program, combined with its vast network of heavily armed proxy groups across Lebanon, Syria, and Yemen, poses what Israel views as an existential threat. Military analysts warn that if Iran inches too close to achieving a deployable nuclear weapon, Israel, potentially backed by U.S. intelligence, will launch a preemptive, massive kinetic strike on Iran's underground nuclear facilities. The fallout of such a strike would instantly go global. Iran holds a geographic trump card: the Strait of Hormuz. 1/5 of the world's total petroleum supply passes through this narrow maritime choke point daily. In the event of a full-scale war, Iran has the capability to mine the strait and attack commercial shipping with anti-ship missiles. Oil prices would skyrocket past historic highs within hours, plunging Western economies into an immediate depression. Furthermore, a desperate war could force the U.S. into a direct ground or air campaign, while superpowers like Russia and China, who rely on Iranian cooperation and oil, could provide satellite intelligence, advanced electronic warfare, and anti-aircraft systems to Tehran, locking the world's major powers into another proxy nightmare. The third, and perhaps the most dangerous nuclear tripwire on Earth, is located in Europe: the Suwalki Gap. This is a flat, narrow corridor of land stretching just 60 miles along the border between Poland and Lithuania. Geopolitically, it is a nightmare. To its west sits Kaliningrad, a heavily fortified Russian enclave packed with nuclear-capable Iskander missiles. To its east lies Belarus, Russia's closest military ally. NATO military strategists refer to the Suwalki Gap as the alliance's Achilles heel. In the event of a direct military escalation between Russia and the West, the Russian military could launch a pincer movement from Kaliningrad and Belarus to close this gap. If they succeed, the Baltic states, Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia, are completely cut off from the rest of continental NATO by land. Under Article 5 of the NATO-Washington Treaty, an attack on one member is officially an attack on all. If Russian forces breach the Suwalki Gap, the United States, Great Britain, France, and Germany are legally required to enter a hot war against the Russian Federation. Because conventional NATO forces would likely overwhelm Russian land forces over time, Russian military doctrine allows for the use of non-strategic, tactical nuclear weapons to de-escalate a losing conflict. A clash over this 60-mile strip of land could turn into a strategic nuclear exchange within days. These three flashpoints illustrate just how fragile our modern global peace truly is. The modern international system is highly interconnected. A single miscalculation by a political leader, a rogue missile, or a minor border skirmish could set off a domino effect that none of the superpowers can stop. As Albert Einstein famously noted, "I know not with what weapons World War III will be fought, but World War IV will be fought with sticks and stones." In a global war between nuclear giants, there are no winners, only survivors. The responsibility of modern statecraft is to ensure these flashpoints remain contained and that deterrence holds. Thank you for watching. Which of these three regions do you think poses the absolute highest risk for global conflict? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Leave a like if you found this analysis valuable, and subscribe for more deep dives into global strategy and military history. We will see you in the next video.